Hello, everybody. My name is Sky, and today I have a story to share. And this story is about bats. Now, real talk here. If I could, I'd own a pet bat. I adore bats so much. And I still joke that if I could, I'd live in an old Victorian house with a pet bat named Nightmare. That is not what this story is about. I have two stories. The first one is about when I was living with my family, my stepbrothers, my stepmom, and my dad. We went out on night walks a lot. And one of those night walks, we had seen a bat flying through. And it was really cool. We were like, oh wow, that was a bat. And then I felt something swoosh over my head. And I look up and we see a bat flying by that just decided, let me go over this small child's head. It's fine. I don't know why. I just remember that moment and thinking, wow, bats are so cool. Despite it flying right over my head. Like, now I look back at it with utter terror of, oh no, that could have been so dangerous. Another story from when I was a kid, we had this book called, Stella, I believe? It was a book about this bat who is a fruit bat, and she learns to, rejoin the rest of the bats and, learns about what being a bat is. It was very sweet, very, very adorable. But we had this book, and it was our favorite, nighttime book. We loved it very, very much. And I remember in school, one day when we went to the library, I was looking at the shelf they had that had picture books on it. And there was the bat book. And I was like, what? And I remember my kid brain didn't have a concept of that there were more books than just that one yet. So my kid brain thought the library somehow stole our bat book. And I told my dad this, and he explained to me, no, there are more than one book of this book. More than one copy of this book. It was very funny. And then the last one, I was not born yet. I was not alive. I was not here. But this is a story my mom has told me, and it is super funny. It's funny, and it's interesting at the same time. So what happened is, I've said before, that my mother is, the person I call mother is my grandmother. So for this story, the context is my grandmother, my grandfather, my dad, and my aunt are all living in the same house, and my aunt is really, really young. She's still a boy in this, and my dad is also very, very young, because my aunt and my dad only have 4 years apart. And so my grandmother is sitting out on the patio. They have a backyard. She's sitting out on the patio, and she decides to come in, and she starts making dinner because it's near dinner time, and she leaves the door open because the air is nice. And would you believe a bat flew in? Scared her so much that she ran, and she tells my grandfather that there's a bat and it's flying around the living room and she doesn't know what to do. And so he's like, I got this. And he goes to try and capture the bat. He fails to capture the bat. My grandmother is freaking out. So she's grabbed my aunt and my dad, and they're all hiding in the master bedroom. And my grandfather shortly joins them and is like, I couldn't capture the bat. And so the four of them are all hiding in the bedroom, and they hear this bat knocking around, and then they're just essentially waiting for it to just go out the backyard, go out the back door, just hoping that it'll finally do that. And it did, eventually. But my mom has told me that is why she ain't cool with bats. She's like, I remember that, and it was scary, but also funny, because it was just all four of them just in the master bedroom. I think my grandfather tried to capture the bat with a box and it failed. Because my mother / grandmother obviously like doesn't know what he tried to do, but she just knows that he came to hide with her. But of course they all live to tell the tale. But yeah, those are my stories about bats. And I know one isn't about an actual bat and is more book related, but I'm counting it under bats. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you have a wonderful day, and goodbye.